light in the dark, embers burning from love. Till dawn I'll be by your side.
Good morning from the top of the lava lodge. Today we are doing something different. We have to fill in the space between the purlins with more Lavacrete because we just ordered the roofing materials this morning, which means they'll be here next week. So we have 1 week to get all of this formwork done for these cavities. Let me show you what we're working with. So we did our test block here. So every section here, we have to fill up from this corner all the way to this corner at the right pitch. It's just going to be a whole lot of work for one little form, and it's very annoying, but it's something that we have to do. We don't need holes in our ceiling, so this is a necessary step. So you can see this formwork. It's very wonky. We have little scabs holding. We have to form material all the way under this C-channel. You got about a 1 1/4 inch because of this bar. And we're also filling this inside section of the C-channel, because if we just went up here, we still have a hole here that birds or animals or insects could get through. We've come up with this little form situation, and then once it's filled and compacted, we can cut these off and just remove the form and go to the next section. I hope that all makes sense. Maybe Jonathan will explain it later on, but for now, I'm just waiting on material so I can compact it in here and move on to the next step.
Did we mention that my parents are here? Because they are. They came for the week, and wow, that's a pretty nice shot, Dad. Well, we're on day 3 of this project. It's a little windy, so I'm going to try to explain what we're doing. Basically, we've added our metal C-purlins, right? Before we put the roof right on top of this, we have all this space to fill from where we stop the Lavacrete walls up to the underside of the roof. It's about 7 inches because these are 6 inches, and then we have an inch and a half steel tubing. So we're having to build all these weird custom forms in between. So Ashley's been doing all this work, cutting out notches so that they slide into the actual C part of the purlin on the outside. And then we're scabbing underneath so that the space underneath the purlins gets filled. It's all very fiddly. We did one over there and it went okay. And then we did a second one and we realized we're spending way too much time building custom forms. So we're trying to do this whole side, all the forms at once. And then we're just going to mix a bunch of Lavacrete and fill it in and do it. We're only a third of the way through this one, though. So we have a lot more drilling and putting in the ties and sort of tightening everything up and getting it even and ready to go. And you would think that this part of the wall would be the most complicated. And I think it might be. But then also, we have to do that whole wall all the way down and some sort of corner situation on the inside and the outside without the ability to build full forms because these are in the way. So wish us luck. But we got to do this before we can put the roof on.
Scab with a 2x2.
You like this?
Yep, need one. So this is the conduit. At every place we have an outlet, we put a conduit that runs up the wall, but to pull the wire, we need it to 90 outside of the wall. So when there's a form up here, that's gonna be like right at the side of the form. So we'll just fill all around this. That way we can still have access to pull this wire. Today's video is sponsored by Quince. Do you guys remember last month when I got to surprise Jonathan with all new bedding and a rug in the shed? Well, Jet got word of that and he was like, hey, where is my bedding? So thank you, Quince, for hooking Jet up with new sheets. If you are not familiar with Quince, perhaps you live under a rock. Quince is your one-stop destination for all things essentials like home goods, Quince, clothes, Quince, kitchen goods, Quince. One of the things I love so much about Quince is they work with top-tier manufacturers and they are able to cut out that middleman, which allows them to pass all that savings on to us. So now you get the quality you want and the price tag you want. So I told Jet to go to quince.com and pick out any of the bedding he wants, and he picked out the European linen. These linen sheets are woven from 100% European flax, naturally temperature regulating, and they're allergen resistant. Now with the linen sheets, they're just gonna keep getting softer over time. They do look slightly textured and they give the room like this nice airy casual feel. Ada also was able to get some linen sheets from Quince, so we have officially all been Quinced. Honestly, we have been converted. I don't think we'll ever have sheets on our bed that is not from Quince. So if you'd like to give them a try, scan this QR code or visit the link in the description below to save today. Almost forgot, guys. 365 days of free shipping. You can't beat that, and so you might as well just go ahead and order today. Thank you, Quince, for sponsoring today's video. Now, let's get back to the roof. Welcome back to the homestead, where we are trying to put forms up on a building that's already erect.
Now, if you thought that the little spaces in between the sea purlins wasn't complicated enough,
Well, yeah, I ain't seen nothing yet.
now we have to do the whole front side and the corners without a solid base. So we're bringing back our friends the all thread from the concrete bomb pour.
Yeah.
Got some left over. We're going to use that to sit on top of the little 1x3 piece of metal so that we can do this, because otherwise we just can't do it the same way.
But you know what? We have learned a lot of skills over these years, and I think we can make it work.
Yeah, we're gonna MacGyver it into existence. That's the plan.
All by ourselves.
Where is everybody?
I don't know.
They're busy.
Yep.
It's okay. We've got this.
Okay.
Ready? So I've already done a little pre-homework here, and I took a piece of this 16-inch tall plywood and I set it on the straight wall, and I know that for the all thread to go through and for there to be enough plywood to grab onto the wall, and then for the all thread to go over the metal tubing, we need to come up 6 inches from the bottom of the plywood. That was a really long explanation. 6 inches up from the bottom of the plywood. We're going to drill our holes, and then we're going to start piecing this thing together. And then we'll just work it down as far as we can go. And then this one, we're just gonna push in here. Now, obviously, this is not usually how you would do it, but as long as we pull the wire from this direction down into the outlet, it should be okay. If we were trying to pull it up, we would get caught on the lip of this. So anyway, we need to set a piece of plywood up here so we know exactly where to cut these so they'll be flush with the wall, and then we can put our pieces up. Now the only thing I'm a little worried about is that going to be too tall? Is that going to put us up above this?
It doesn't matter, it's flexible, so we can go like this if we need to.
Right, but we'll need to know that before we pack it. You know what I mean?
Well,
You have a tape measure?
that's not too tall, because look at... Here, like that.
Just measure.
You're going to be going like this.
That should be fine.
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right, so now we're ready to put the pieces in. We didn't really get any like video footage of you guys here, so.
It's very good.
Okay, friends, we have spent a lot of time forming up all the spaces between these sea purlins. I think if I had to do it over again, I would not build the roof like this. It's proven to be more trouble than it's worth. It's gotten really complicated trying to make all these weird forms and make everything stay on top, and then some of the sea purlins are like in the way of the wall. I don't even know if we want to get into all the complicatedness. We'll show you some close-ups later, maybe. I don't know. It was a long day yesterday. I don't think we recorded any of it. But it's formed and it's ready to go. So we are going to pour, lay, whatever, the Lavacrete today. We learned some stuff during our garden bed workshop. We learned a little bit more about that reverse mixing technique, which we'll look at here in a second. We also learned that you can make a lot of Lavacrete with just a regular barrel mixer, no problem. And we're going to walk you through that. All of our children are busy. They're at work, they're doing school, we're on our own. But we got Cloud here. Anyway, we're going to go mix some Lavacrete and we're going to pour it and we're going to just kind of work on this a little bit at a time, just the two of us, and see how far we can get. Okay, we've had a lot more time to play around with the best way to mix Lavacrete in a regular cement mixer. So we're going to share a few tips that we've learned. So remember, the mix that we're going for, the ratio is 6 to 1 to 1. So that's 6 parts aggregate, 1 part binder, 1 part water. And that's all by volume and not by weight, because otherwise it gets really complicated. But that's like the basics of what you're going for. However, if you try to do this kind of like we used to with earth bags with shovelfuls, 6 shovelfuls of aggregate is not really that much material. It's kind of a waste. So what we're going to do is we're going to double the shovelfuls. So we're going to look for 12 shovelfuls of aggregate, 2 shovelfuls of cement, and an amount of water. The way that we basically figured this out is a half of a 5-gallon bucket is about 6 shovelfuls. So we're going to do 2 half 5-gallon buckets. And the reason we're not doing one big one is because it is very difficult to dump that into the mixer, especially if it's moving. And so we want to make this a little bit simpler. And when we had the workshop here, it was just easier if everybody filled these halfway and then dumped them in. So 2 half 5-gallon buckets, and then a half of a 2.5-gallon bucket of cement and a half 2.5-gallon bucket of water. And that kind of works out to where we go. So we'll start. Also, just scooping buckets is way faster than shoveling. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by putting this in here. 2 of these. Then we're going to turn it on. Now the whole reverse mix thing is really interesting. Usually when we do earth bags, we dry mix the cement into clay and rock and sand. We're not doing this with the lava sand because it's got all these little holes in it, right? And it took a few times talking with Paul to really understand why, but I finally kind of understand. If we mix it dry, we're just going to put all those little pieces of cement into the holes inside the lava sand, which means we're going to kind of waste a bunch of the material. What's better is that we coat all the material in water so that the water fills in all those little microscopic holes, and then we coat the individual grains with the cement so that when they stick together, they all just kind of bloop, just go together like that. That way we're maximizing our binder usage and we're giving this a better chance for success. I didn't think it would work this way, especially in this mixer. You just got to give it a minute to really, for the cement to really coat. When you first throw it in, it doesn't look like it's going to work. So I got my half thing of water. Throw it in slow or else it's gonna splash back on. And somebody realized if you slide one of these in, it puts it up vertically, so you don't have to hold. Okay, so we're gonna let it coat all of the aggregate real quick, and then we're gonna throw our cement in. Kind of do this a few things at a time. Also, I forgot to put my mask on. I'll do that in a second. See, it looks like it's not gonna work, but you just gotta give it a minute. And pretty much already, it's coated. So, I don't know if you can see this, but you see how every grain is kind of glistening and it's ready to be stuck together. That's what you want. Now the last thing is, and you've probably seen this before, but we want to make sure that it doesn't have any slump. So I'm going to just take this and push it, make myself a little wall, and it doesn't move. And that's exactly what you're going for, is that mix right there. It's really pretty easy. You don't even have to mix it that long when you do the reverse method. You can pretty much do it by yourself or with a small team. And then you'll just want to scrape this mixer out every 3 or 4 batches. It'll start clumping to the back. You don't weigh the mixer down. And then if you do use lime, which we did lime on the garden beds, it's super sticky. It's really hard to work with. It takes a lot longer. You almost have to scrape it 2 times for every batch just to get it to come out. But it is possible. It does work. So anyway, that's the process. So now we're gonna get to it.
Okay, so we're about halfway done with this north wall, and as you can see, we're not going the full 12 inches. We are only worrying about the outside where it attaches, well, where it meets the roof line, so that bugs don't come in here. Now, with the way that we're doing the roof and the ceiling, we don't need this full 12 inches filled up. We'll explain that more later, but this is what we're doing. So we have our board here that matches the wall line. So I'm just going up to the top of the board, as you can see there. And then I'm just angling the wall down to this board. This does not matter. This really only needs to be 2 inches, but we're filling it up as much as we can. And we'll just continue on down this way and then work our way around the building. One thing I found is that this is a really great tool, this wooden float. You can use it as a screed. You can use it to gently press down the middle. We are focusing on tamping the outside and the inside wall mostly. spots where that's a tight compaction and leaving the middle section a little bit less compressed. That will just add some more insulative properties to the wall. You might notice that there's no vents in this ceiling cavity roof line, and that's because the Lavacrete breathes. And so this top section that we're doing now, we're doing just slightly less compression in the middle of the wall for allowing that middle section between the roof and the ceiling to breathe. Does that make any sense? Hopefully. I don't know. I need some material. We're just halfway. All right, can you just set it up there, and I gotta tamp this down a minute.
So something I just realized, I've been mixing this whole time and I haven't used shovels. I've just been scooping with buckets. The material is kind of light enough to where it's not a huge deal to do that, which I think is pretty cool. So if you want to save a few bucks and not buy a shovel to do Lavacrete, you can do that. You just need a few buckets. Hey, how's it going?
It's going good.
Yeah.
We got the north wall done, and we have 1-2 sections here, and then the south wall.
And you already did that section just a minute ago, and those two are already done.
Yeah.
And then, so this is going to be the biggest section.
Yeah.
Because we did the full form for this one.
And it only wraps around the corner because we've already got that wall done. So really, we're more than halfway.
Oh yeah, we're going to finish today. Totally.
But I need a break. I need some water.
Yeah.
I need a hat.
Yeah.
I need
So snackage.
some snacks. And
it is pretty crazy, like, how much you can do, like, just with a couple of people.
yeah, Ada's been super helpful too, though.
Yeah, that helped us go faster. Roo. That was not a fart. That was the horse. Also, did we mention we have the roof materials here? They're like ready to go. We've got this U shape that'll go on the end of the C's to kind of close that gap so you don't see those open-ended C purlins. We've got our roofing, we've got all the trim. So once we get this Lavacrete done, then we get to start putting the rest of the roof together. And it should be pretty straightforward and pretty simple. We made sure that the roof was in 3-foot increments, which we've never done before, which we really should have done before. And then I guess we just got to get the door and the windows on, and then we can kind of pause and get back to the roof on the roundhouse. Okay, we are back after our snack break. We are just going to focus on these two little sections, which are right here. And then we have to run into town for an errand, so I think we've got about an hour. That should give us enough time to mix and fill and compact that section. And then we'll just have this big area with the corners, and then we're done. Yeah?
Alright, got the two little sections above the door done, which means we only have this long south wall to finish up, and hopefully we're not in town too long and we can do that the rest of the evening. But we'll see. If not, tomorrow. But we really need to get it done today, so hopefully we get back in time.
So we're back out this afternoon. We're getting ready to lay this last part of the wall. And I just wanted to kind of take a minute and walk you through how we did this and all the different ways that we sort of formed this together. The truth is, there's a number of ways you could do this. And one of the things that I think is really compelling about Lavacrete in general is its sort of sandcastle packing nature, right? So if you're going to build forms to pour concrete into or to do like rammed earth, those forms have to be substantial because with a concrete flowable mix, it's going to create a lot of outward pressure on those forms, so they have to be super stabilized. And then similarly with rammed earth, because you're going to be tamping and compacting that material so much, they also have to be really strong. A lot of times they end up getting made out of metal just because you're going to be wailing on it so hard, right? Lavacrete isn't like that at all. I mean, you've seen it has zero slump. You can literally take the pile right out of the mixer, make a vertical wall, and it will just stay there. So it really allows you just to take some plywood and some spreader clips or maybe some 2x4s and just make some really simple, I mean, these are pretty janky little forms, right? But they totally hold the material just fine. For something like this, there's really not a right or wrong way to do it. The trick is that you want to use the existing wall and then sort of build up in between. And so in some cases here, we've like cut notches so that it slides down in the sea because we want to fill that space. And then you can see we made like little clips in between to make sure the material doesn't fall out from underneath the sea purlins. And in this case, we used just the baling wire. We screwed it through and we tightened it up and just sort of sucked it in and held it on. For this wall here, we kind of went back to our bond beam roots and we used all thread and nuts and washers. And we just sucked it together that way and then put spreader clips on the top. But then, yeah, I mean, we're still sort of filling in this space with just little pieces of plywood. And again, it's like they're just barely kind of screwed in and all stuck together. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy. You can just kind of piece it together however you want. Are you ready? Would you like to lava with me?
We do have to get this done.
I know.
Today. And then it can be done until the panels go up.
Right. This is going to need at least a day or two to sit.
It's going to need several days to sit before we take the forms off.
Mm.
Tonight, I would like to water this whole building.
Okay. Why would you like to?
When the sun sets.
Why would you like to water the building?
Well, I was talking to Guru Das the other day, and he's like, it would help like if we keep watering it every couple days just to like slow the curing process.
You think that makes a difference for this building now that it's been here?
He said to do both. He said to do those garden beds and this, so
okay.
We'll see. Ducky? Ducky?
Big smile, a funny face. Storm cloud, or a bit of shade. A dime of fashionably lame. Out of my mind, or barely sane. I'm trying to catch a breath, but breathing it in. And drumming out the noise, but it's trickling in. Keep me guessing, I wonder if you know. World going round, I'm letting it spin. Light is coming down and it colors your skin. I'ma take a drive to the unknown. 'Cause I wonder what it feels like. Wait a minute, now carry on. Stay down or rise above. Oh, is it a red flag or recklessly in love? When I give it my all, I just wanna be enough. Trying to run it back when I'm cold in the feet. My world is going mad, so weak. Yeah, I'll take the plunge to see if I float. 'Cause I wonder what it feels like. What? I wonder what it feels like.
All right, guys, we did it. Lavacrete is done. on the Lavacrete utility lodge. No more Lavacrete. So we're going to let this sit for a couple of days before we start to take these forms back off. And then we're roofing. That's the next step. So wish us luck. Can't wait to get this thing closed in. It's going to be super handy to have another enclosed space here. We've got some fun plans for it. You'll have to wait and see. All right, so we took all the forms off of the garden beds this morning and the hyperadobe Lavacrete wall. We still have all these forms to take off on the Lavacrete building where we had to build the wall up to the top of the C-purlin heights. I've just come over here, I've started taking pieces off. You know, it's kind of the same thing. You take off the little scabs, you cut your baling wire so that you can just pull it off. I've already taken off a couple of these. I'm going to take off the other ones. However, there is some complicated stuff here. On the outside of every wall, remember we cut a weird notch to slide into that C-purlin. That's going to be hard to get out. There's going to be a lot of tension on it, I can tell you right now. Then we got the whole weird back wall with the 2x4s under, and then this whole wall with all thread and spreader clips and all the other stuff. So I'm going to do as much as I can by myself. Oh, there you go. All right, not bad. We're going to come over here. Knock these out real quick. Hopefully real quick. Something's stuck. Hold on. It's just the clips. Something that was kind of hard to explain was how these conduits are going to work. So you can see the 90 goes down and then it goes all the way down into the box, which is kind of in the shadows. It's kind of hard to see. But we had a couple that we had to use these flexible tubes for. Although I'm looking at this and it looks like it's taller than this. So we're going to have to do some digging here and clean this out to make sure this fits underneath the metal roof, because the roof is going to attach right on this. But yeah, most of them are going to have a nice clean entry point, just like this in the cavity of the ceiling. Time to move to the outside.
Where does it all go? Where you threw it away? In one ear, out the other. I got nothing to say. Where does it all go? Where you threw it away? In one ear, out the other. I got nothing to say. If you ask me what's been happening, I say nothing. You say once I touch the ground, I'll hit it running. Oh, tell me how am I supposed to start when I keep stopping? Tell me how do I make something out of nothing? What was mine is in the middle of being a memory left behind. Yeah, every time
Almost making me work.
Hey, we're almost done. I almost got it.
Do you have another socket? Yeah, we figured it out.
Oh, this looks so amazing.
Are you doing this
Or the
East side?
no, there's screws here. And there's screws here. How did these get put
They
together?
got put together before it went up.
Now, where you can't get to it.
There's a
Right
screw
behind this
right there
that I
behind
can't
it.
get
Oh,
to.
there's a screw right here.
And there's screws
So can it
going
all
this
just come
way.
off in one piece? Then we'll be fine.
Got a banner?
It was up there with you at one point.
Hey, there we go.
It's always the last one.
Good night.
Yeah, this building is fireproof.
What is it stuck on?
I don't know. It's literally not anywhere near where it would have been screwed, which is just funny.
What is it stuck on?
There's a screw.
Oh, look at it. You see that? Oh my god.
That's really funny. It was not even a whole screw. It's just like
Just
cut
a
off.
broken
Just enough to catch on the lip.
Just enough to be annoying. So now can you guys get this little piece out? Because if you get the little piece out, then we have more room left. Here we go.
Any glasses?
Hold on, I think it's breaking in the middle.
That one shouldn't fall because it's hooked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this should.
There we go. Now he's got to get his
I got
board
it.
out.
I'll let him. You want to lower that down?
Here we go.
Woohoo!
Good grief.
Oh, did we get it?
I saw a
We
Sparky.
did.
Got one.
You almost got it.
Let me hold my.
Hold on, hold on, hold on. Now. I'm still
Can we
stuck.
bam it up a little?
Hold it out like that. I need my wood.
Close.
Are you moving?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.